Hello, hello, all Keyblade wielders, seekers of darkness, and gamers and non gamers alike. Welcome to this very special episode of the Super Banter Brothers. My name is Grant Patrizio. I am one of the Super Banter Brothers, and with me, as always, is your favorite well baked luchador.
Senor Donut.
And as I said, welcome to the show. This episode's going to be very special. You'll see why in a bit. We're kind of deviating from our norm here with something that we both kind of wanted to do as far as an episode concept when we decided to get together and start doing this. But before we go with the massive unveilings, Senor Donut, what have you been playing? What games have tickled your donutty cream filled fancy?
That sounds so dirty.
Good night, everybody! Just imagine episode
uh,
over right there. Anyway, continue.
right there, done. Um, I have been playing a couple of games. Mostly, recently, I've been kind of going through the Pokemon series, going through games of the Pokemon series that I've never played before, and I'm playing Leaf Green at the
Ooh.
moment. So that's where I am right now playing that game. There's a couple of games on my radar that I really want to play, but I haven't gotten the chance to yet, or just waiting for the right time to play them. We got Pokopia that's going to be coming out soon, and I'm going to be interested in playing that on stream and seeing how that goes. Um, but mostly I'm not playing a ton of games off stream because I'm like using the time to edit and create clips of the content that I made so far. Because
Yeah.
Twitch streaming is fine and all that, but you need to come up with some other content, or
Yep.
cut sections of it, of your Twitch stream, out
Yep.
to showcase to somebody else. And it's so hard to do that, Grant. Like,
Yeah. Yes, it
as
is.
as a small content creator, right? I am making content by doing a Twitch stream, but then I have to go through my entire Twitch stream and find moments from it that were funny or interesting or whatever, so that I can cut those instants out and then make them into a digestible, 15 to 30-second clip.
And then you got to find ways to embellish the moments too, like with clips from other media, like
Yeah.
like a clip from a certain series that I've been streaming, which I'll touch on in a bit. Like, I said something really wacky, just as my off the cuff commentary. I said something really wacky, and then I had to not only catch that portion and the whole off the cuff wacky thing and the aftermath, where I called out self referentially, "This is going to become a clip." I had to find other moments that highlighted the wacky thing I said and how correct I was in that moment becoming a clip. So to grab social media attention, it's got to be digestible, it's got to be punchy, it's got to be full of memes and references, and finding the
Yeah.
right ones for the right moment can be very taxing, very time consuming. And this
100%.
and this comes from someone who only streams for 2 to 3 hours a day. Yours are like 5 to 6 typically. So,
Yeah. My streams are like, 5 to 6 hours on 2 days of the week. And
mhm,
that doesn't count because sometimes I also do a collaboration stream or something like that.
yeah,
So I have to look for times, I have to look for dates. Like, a lot of my time to play games is taken up by working on clip making, or getting something set up with other Twitch streamers,
yeah.
networking, being in other people's streams, being active in their chat. And this is all just part of being a streamer, being a somewhat um, known, I guess, streamer. Not successful, but known, you know? If other streamers, see you in their chat, that might make them interested in coming to your chat. And it's not an expected thing either. This is not a quid pro quo kind of
Yeah.
situation. You are being a genuine, friend to other people that you network with, because we're all in the same kind of boat. We're all struggling to try and, get
Make
seen
this
by the
work.
masses, to make it work, to make it a job. I mean, everybody has different reasons why they start streaming, and I'm not here to generalize, but what I am here to let you know is that if you want to grow as a streamer, you have to be willing to network with other streamers. You have to be willing to collab with other streamers. And you got to put in the effort to make content outside of your Twitch stream.
Yeah.
That's just the short end of it. And I have run into so many issues, like where I have been editing content for hours. Like right now, my biggest edit is one where I am editing my Hollow Knight Path of Pain attempt.
Mhm.
Um, I did manage to beat the Path of Pain, but right now I am going through all of that footage and marking down how many attempts it took, and I'm cutting out the the good, like when I actually made it to a checkpoint, and making that into another clip itself. So
Yep.
I'm making a Path of Pain part 1 and a Path of Pain part 2 that
Yeah.
shows you the progress of how many attempts I made it to get to certain point. And then now I'm working on the Path of Pain part 2, and I'm going through all of that footage, marking it down, adjusting audio levels, like you said, finding other types of media like meme media and placing it in certain parts of the video to make it more engaging, to make it more fun to watch. And then I'm going through the supercut of part 2 and finding little bits
Yeah.
in between that to make small clips, one edited for YouTube and another one edited for TikTok in the various format of 9:16 instead
Yep.
of 16:9.
Yep.
And it's hard. You don't know if anybody is going to watch these clips.
And
You
if
don't
they
know if
do, just from my experience of posting the clips that I have, um like thankfully these days I can work with an editor to, speed the process up a little bit because of the kinds of content that I'm trying to make both with the streams and outside of the streams, showing off my voice acting side. Like I'm working on creating two branches of content at once. And like you said, if I focus on the editing the whole time, I won't be able to actually make more stuff.
yeah.
So, like, I'm grateful to be able to say that that the editor I am working with, which is also the editor we are working with,
Mhm.
um, has really figured out my style and has gotten a sense of who I am to be like, this is the part of Grant that needs to be displayed right now.
Mhm.
Like, a little bit of self-referentialism here. He will probably get that intro bit where I made the very suggestive statement about well-baked and cream-filled with a good night, everybody. He'll probably get that as a clip for something of us or something of me. But like yeah, when I was doing the editing on my own, I spent so many hours trying to find the right format, the right
Mhm.
look of the video, depending on what the video was, other clips, other memes, um, or just sampling the bits together. Like I do still sometimes do edits on my own. Like back when I was playing Legend ZA on stream, I did my ZA recap videos, which were
Great.
high
Great, by
energy.
the way.
Well, thank you. But they were high energy, fast paced. And I
Mhm.
scripted out everything and recorded it myself and spliced it all together with a thin layer of background music, just, trying to capture that style and that energy. And even at my most efficient, one of those videos, just straight scripting, recording, editing together, 3.5 to 4 hours. And
Yeah.
that's not mentioning having to get the individual moments while playing through ZA, remembering to capture each of those 30-second clips on the Switch too, um, to just get all of the moments together for me to script in the first place.
Yeah.
So it'd be lots of work in in these content creator hills. We tell you what.
It it is. It is a lot of work, and the thing that makes that I think gets in not just my head, but a lot of other creators' heads is you're working on this content, but what's the point? Are people gonna notice it? There's so much media out there right now, easily available at anybody's grasp with internet access.
Yep.
Is someone going to take the time to not only engage with your video by liking it or leaving a comment, but actually stay through the entire video? Is your video too short? Is it too long? Is it not funny enough? And then you start having those feelings of self-doubt like why aren't people liking this? Is something wrong with my humor? Do people not like it? You look at the analytics that is available on your YouTube account, your TikTok account, and you see when people stop engaging with your content. You see when the moment is in your video that they decide, not for
We're
me,
done.
swipe up or whatever.
Yep.
And that's it. And it is a heart-wrenching thing to see because you have put in countless hours doing something that the person that's viewing it might not even have the slightest grasp of how things are done. And they are easily
Just
just
swiping.
very simply swiping
Yeah.
and not seeing your content for what you think it is. And it is very tough, very demoralizing at times. Especially, like, I don't know, I'm sharing my gripes right now because I feel like it's something that every content creator goes through,
And
you
you're not
know?
wrong about that. So take the time, share away, please.
It's just like the other day, my family is sleeping and I am working until midnight, from 8 PM to midnight trying to edit this content. I'm missing time sleeping, with my family. Um, I am missing time with my kiddo, playing at the park, when the wifey decides to take him out. I could be going. I could be going and doing that thing, but I am working uh, for this content to make it, to edit and create it, and I'm missing out on those moments on something that I am not 100% sure of that will work. If it works, amazing, fantastic. All of it was worth it. But if it doesn't work, I feel like I'm going to have a lot of regrets about not going out to play with my kid or whatever when he goes out. When he goes out and spends time at the aquarium or the zoo with his mom, because she's giving me the time to collab with someone or to work on editing or something. I feel like I'm missing that time, and I don't know if it's going to work out or not. But at the same time, I can't have those thoughts of self-doubt hinder my overall goal, which is to get this content out and create it regardless if anyone sees it or interacts with it. Because as I'm doing it, I'm learning how to be more efficient. I'm learning how to do things differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I am getting these skills that could potentially translate into something else,
It's
possibly.
true. It's very true.
So it's just, I don't know, man. The whole content creator shtick is a very hard hard path because a lot of it doesn't solely matter um on you. It's not just you. It's people
Yeah,
getting lucky breaks, getting that one viral clip that brings people in and then they get noticed. And maybe that's all that I'm waiting for one viral clip to be noticed so that somebody else, decides to buy into me as a quote unquote product, even though I am a person.
right.
Under this mask is a father, a an individual, a creative individual that just wants to leave some kind of mark in someone's life or wants to be able to support and provide for their family because they believe in their ability to create, to make people feel joy, to make people feel happiness, or to make people laugh and forget about the troubles of the world.
Even if it's just
And
for 30 to 90 seconds.
that's right. And I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to I don't want to bring down anybody that is a content creator and fill their head with these thoughts. I don't mean to be all woe is me because I am doing something off the beaten path that is sure as hell not something that I would recommend to anyone besides, working a normal 9 to 5 or whatever. But we all struggle on different planes.
Yep.
And whatever your struggle is right now, whether it's something professional, familial, um, friend
Personal, just
wise,
in general.
personal, just, yeah, whatever that is, know that you still matter and that what you're doing is going to prepare you for whatever comes next. Don't take it as, what's the point? Why does anything matter? Because everything that you've gotten to up to this point in your life is preparing you for the next step. And if I didn't believe that, I think I would have stopped doing this a long time ago. Stopped pouring so much money and time into this craft.
If I may, brother, because
Please.
we've both been in this boat, and I happen to see some beacons of hope, some beacons of light, if you will,
Mhm.
in the emotional unknown that we are both sort of trudging through in our own ways on this front. For starters, I'd like to point it back to you. And,
Mhm.
from what I've noticed with your streams as, lurking half the time as I've had to be because of, voice acting related obligations, but wanting to show my support,
Mhm.
um, the 560, 555 some odd folks who follow your channel, the routine 10 to 20 viewers you seem to have whenever I'm on those streams, if I had to hazard a guess, they already view you as the person you say you hope to be, as the well baked luchador who brings laughs and hope and enjoyment and a distraction from the crazy darkness scape, the crazy realm of darkness that we live in right now. I feel like you're already making that impact. And maybe you don't see it in the moment on the streams or after the fact, because then you're engrossed in the editing and you're engrossed in the networking and you're giving so much of yourself to this,
Mhm.
where in a way you haven't really had enough time to refill your own cup, if you get the metaphor,
Yeah, no, I
because
get it.
you're giving that same sweet donutty support to all these other creators without feeding your own cup first. I,
Mhm.
for just as a personal example, kind of have the opposite approach. I need to make sure that I am fully equipped to give before I give and give and give and give, because I know that once I'm out, I'm out. Like, I'll have to take time away to rest and random weeks off, which hurts my own consistency.
Mhm.
But with the fact that you're starting to implement this content strategy now, which is a set of new skills for you, that's a win. Your follower count and the people who constantly like stay on stream and chat with you, and how Ashagod, a friend of yours, someone I want to have be a friend of mine, um, how they are constantly in your streams and engaging with your Animal Crossing stuff by giving stuff to your island. And if I had to hazard a guess, they appeared on one of like and played some of your island's games with you.
Mhm.
Um, from that little bit I saw on stream, they were acting like another sentient Pokedex while you were playing Leaf Green. They
Yeah.
already see you that way.
Mhm.
And it is hard to tell in the moment because you're just like so zoned in. But it's like my therapist tells me, the biggest thing for us creative types who are just so in the moment like that is that we fail to see the forest through the trees.
Yeah.
And every time we catch ourselves doing that is when we find ourselves in these funks. And just to give you a personal story as to how that's been true for me, well, first of all, your Tuesday raids on my Twitch streams have given me a few more followers and have gotten people to stick around and appear more on their own. So, public thank you for that, first of all. And secondly, somebody who is writing a book, who wants to make an audiobook out of it, found my voice acting and Twitch related content on Blue Sky, came
Nice.
to one of the streams, and we were talking about this book project that they're writing. I
Mhm.
was asking questions about the book to, get a sense of it, just engage with them. It eventually got to the point where they sent me a sample and wanted me to read to potentially be in this audiobook when it gets to that phase
Mm.
as a formal audition. Just
Nice.
because we discussed the book on stream, they said the stream was fun, and now whenever they're on my there was a clip that I posted to my Blue Sky where I was just reading as character voices the moments in these games. It was a Donkey Kong Bonanza and Kingdom Hearts 2. I was just reading the scenes with character voices. And there was
Mhm.
a moment where Beast said something that would not fly in this year of 2026. And I commented on that on stream in the clip.
Hmm.
This same person is now engaging with my content that way because they're like, oh, the moment where you called out Beast got me. Just like the moment where you're like, oh, Beast, no, that got me. And I just responded back to them, yeah, that wasn't Beast's best moment. It just wasn't. So that's part of the whole unknown of it all. And if we're in like just in the moment and we don't see the forest or the trees, we miss these moments that in a way can make the whole thing more gratifying. Like,
Yeah.
I never thought I would be asked to audition for an up and coming book from the creator because we talked about their book on a Twitch stream. I never thought that in my wildest dreams, and that's what happened. And
Yeah.
channel size, you would think by follower counts alone from that very surface level you talked about with the clip swiping, you would be more in line to do that than me based on follower count and viewer retention and all those other like Twitch stream metrics.
Mhm.
But it also just goes in to feed like what our streams are about, who we are on stream, and who people see.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like you said, that's just stuff that while we can't predict it, when it does happen, those are the moments we cling to say, "Hey, it was worth it." If n-
Yeah.
and the way I think about it is if nothing else happens from my Twitch streaming, and sure the follower count may grow incrementally like one or two every month or something, if nothing else major happens, but I got that audition for the audiobook, I'd call it a success because somebody saw me for who I am and wanted to engage with me that way just by being myself while playing a Pokemon fan game. because that entire discussion happened during an Infinite Fusion stream. So I just hope that, and this is for you, this is for me, this is for every single content creator under the sun. If you happen to be seeing this or listening to this, if you love it and you love doing it and it makes you happy, allow yourself to let that be reason enough. Because the external factors will weigh on all of us. It weighs on
Yeah.
me heavily. But if it makes you happy and you love it, that's got to be reason enough. And I have to tell myself that with voice acting too. Every month, do 20 plus auditions, don't book anything. I just love being in the booth, being these characters, telling these stories. That's enough. Like, I have to let myself let that be enough for me. And any opportunities where I get paid to do the work or record for something like a Killer Inn or the Dogman series, those are just like icing on each respective cake, you know? Like, do I want more of that? Absolutely. But I love what it takes to get there, and I have made the less than stellar parts more manageable so I can keep reminding myself of what I'm doing and why I love it
Yeah.
and focus on that as much as I can. And I hope that you and every other content creator out there, and that me, maybe tomorrow, when I inevitably forget this, can all remember that that's what it's about. And it's like Boyfriend tells me, there are going to be parts of the job that you absolutely hate, but you got to do them. And you got to
Yeah.
counterbalance it with the things that you love to reinforce that it's all worth it.
100%. Uh, Thank you, Bud, for the perspective, the the Grant perspective that I so sorely need sometimes.
We're brothers for a reason, dude. We go to each other for these things out of that bond of trust,
Hmm.
you know? I mean, if that
Yeah,
bond of trust weren't there, we wouldn't be doing this right now.
it's true. It's true.
Ultra meta flex, by the way.
uh, but yeah, that's I don't even know how the fuck we got onto this tangent. We were talking about
you,
games, and
you,
I talked
you,
about more editing
like
that didn't have time. Yeah,
it was regarding, games that we played and how you've basically been playing games on stream right now.
yeah,
And
yeah.
honestly, with maybe one or two exceptions, that's been me too. Like, I mostly do my gaming on stream these days. And unless it's in that 2 hour block I give myself for sanity at the end of every day, I don't normally play games very much off stream either, because of the auditions and the voiceover marketing, the Twitch streams, making sure content goes well for this show and my own personal stuff. It's like being a creative is a lot of that admin, which is a lot of time that straight up doesn't get factored into any amount of rates that you set for yourself, or doesn't get factored in with any Twitch bits or donations or subscriptions or all that.
Hmm.
Like, it is quite literally a labor of love. If you love what you do, you have to labor for it.
Very
So,
true. Very true. Thank you for
though I
letting me rant. Like, I mean, just
look, you can't spell my
sometimes.
name without a rant. So, if you're in my presence, then you got to do what you got to do.
Very true. Very true. Uh, I mean, I guess that kind of
Speaking
gets into our
Yep.
topic.
Yep. And speaking of ranting and my name, I'll probably be the one doing the ranting from here on out. Because one thing you and I discussed regarding this show is that it wasn't just about video games or things in the gaming industry. It's learning about what you love, being lucha and all forms of wrestling, anime, as it applies to both of us. And one thing you and I had talked about was doing the occasional deep dive onto a specific topic, learning more
Hmm.
about that topic, informing the other banter brother and whoever's listening, or just engaging with people on that subject better. So, what better way for our 13th episode of the Super Banter Brothers than for us to do a deep dive in the heart of Kingdom Hearts, a
Oof.
series that I hold very close in my heart. And, there's a reason we're doing this as the 13th episode. The fans will know. Um,
If you know, you know.
and if you don't, I'll probably leak it later in the episode because I am terrible at, keeping references at bay for too long. Anyway, um, just a bit of a disclaimer at the top of this deep dive. This is a franchise that the director and one of the head honchos behind it, Tetsuya Nomura, has gone on record saying that he needs to watch fan made recaps to understand all of the details of the plot that he so constructed. So if the creator can get some liberties and make some mistakes about plot details and etc., so can we. I mean, like there are probably fans out there who will do a better deep dive than we will, but gosh dang it, we're here to try. And secondly, the deep dive can go a lot differently, and this also goes into my first question for you, my favorite donut. It depends on what angle you choose to dive into it from. Are you choosing to dive into the series in release order or in pre-established timeline canon order?
Oh my
Because as
god.
it turns out, it's a different experience depending on which way you start.
Well, let me throw that question back at you. Which way do you feel makes the most sense out of the convolution that is Kingdom Hearts?
If you were to leave it to me, I would say go in release order, playing the most up to date release of a given game in question. So, for example, Kingdom Hearts 1 released way back on I want to say the PlayStation 2, the first one came
Yes.
out.
Mhm.
Um, don't, if you want to start your Kingdom Hearts journey in release order, do not play vanilla Kingdom Hearts 1. Play Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, because that is an updated version of Kingdom Hearts 1 with some secret boss fights that end up informing the canon as it goes down the line, because characters recall these boss fights in cutscene dialogue that just is not there in the vanilla game.
Mm.
Same thing with Chain of Memories. Chain of Memories, the 3D one released for the PlayStation 2 around the time of Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, is the more canon version of those events due to spoken dialogue and references to other things from Kingdom Hearts 1 leading into Kingdom Hearts 2. So that is just a preface. If you play the game, like when you play the games, go for the most updated version you can from the jump, which Square Enix kind of made easy due to the re release collections on PS3, PS4, now PS5, and also Steam, and related Microsoft consoles, starting with Xbox Series S, I think. Um, they only have the final mixes of Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and Birth by Sleep. They only have Recoded or Chain of Memories. And you can get the plot synopses for 358 over 2 days and coded via cutscene movies. Mostly because those are DS games and they haven't figured out a way to make two screen games on one screen, even though they did that with Dream Drop Distance. So, eh. Um, but also, just to, continue this massive preface, because it is a bit of a massive preface, um,
You're
there
telling
are,
me.
right, there are mobile phone games based off of browser games, which are go into plot details predating the events of Kingdom Hearts 1. And the browser game was the first version of that, but the mobile phone game is the updated version of the browser game. But that mobile phone game is basically offline now, aside from a cutscene theater. Because mobile games. Um, which, makes some things in Kingdom Hearts 3 make sense. which is why, again, if you play in release order, you'll get all the context pieces as they fold in. But if you go in chronological order, it's just going to be like, who's this Sora guy? Why are all these black coats in a game that didn't, premeditate black coats? What's the deal with the black coats? They were introduced in Kingdom Hearts 2. Um, you gotta absorb all of the pieces in order for it to make sense. And more so than Sonic's Twitter feed, everything is canon.
Before you go on, let
Okay.
me ask you this very, very pointed question.
Okay.
Do you feel like you have a handle on the canon that is Kingdom Hearts?
I feel like I have a handle. I would say I have a pretty good handle on it. Like, there might be some stuff from the aforementioned mobile games and a announced but now canceled Pokemon Go esque game that was going to feed the canon of the mobile games and act as a bridge between the mobile games and Kingdom Hearts 1. Um, that stuff I might be a little bit hazy on just
Mm-hmm.
because story wise, I didn't get that far in the game. And when I saw the cutscene theater, there's no voice acting. Sometimes I got distracted with the text cutscenes and I might have got lost in the shuffle. But
Mm.
like the console games, 1 through 3, Melody and Memory, the rhythm game, and any of the spin offs in between, I feel like I've got a handle on for sure.
All right. Well, I guess we start this deep dive then, Grant.
Indeed. Um, so we're gonna go with release order, just because that's how I enjoyed it. Even though I played Kingdom Hearts 2 first, technically.
Really?
Um, yeah, I played.
Oh.
It was in college actually. The science and engineering library had Kingdom Hearts 2 for rent from the science and engineering library. So me and my roommate at the time took like 5 days to beat the PS2 version.
Oh wow.
And then I got into Kingdom Hearts 1 and the rest is history.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so in Kingdom Hearts 1, the key things to take away, I would say, are, well, I shouldn't have started with that because there's a lot of context that needs to happen first. Sora, Riku, and Kairi, the three main characters of that era of Kingdom Hearts,
Mm-hmm.
they're just hanging out on their favorite hangout spot, the Destiny Islands. Fun fact, it is not their home. They take boats to get there from their home island, which we see briefly in Kairi cutscenes in Kingdom Hearts 2. They are all hanging out on Destiny Islands. Riku brings up in conversation what it's like to go to other worlds. That gets Kairi and Sora interested, so they agree to build a raft and sail from Destiny Islands to worlds unknown. That curiosity leads this shadowy force known as the Heartless to invade Destiny Islands.
So you're telling me that because they decided to build a raft and go to other worlds, the Heartless decided, you know what? Yeah, this place is the place to attack.
That's how it appears at Kingdom Hearts 1. There is a more defined reason as we get into the franchise further.
Oh my
And that's
god.
why that's why I'm saying we're going in release order right now. Because if we don't stick to what the games give us when going into release order, I'd already have to be getting into the bits where there's a time traveling version of an old guy from a game that releases in the future that takes place in the past, that you have to have a version of yourself in that era when you send your heart to that different era of the past, and that evil guy is connected to the Heartless and another type of enemy that is loosely related to the Heartless from this one game. See why I did that?
Grant, are you absolutely sure that we can do this deep dive?
Look, we're gonna try. I know we have a bit of a time limit, but we're gonna try, and that's why I'm gonna, like just try to get the main events out there, in as succinct a way as I can, because the game goes all over the place to different eras in time, to The series rather goes to different eras in time, dealing with different Keyblade wielders, retconning the fact that Sora is supposedly the chosen one, as established in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Where
Yeah.
are the goddamn parents of these kids that let them sail off to some fucking island out in the middle of wherever they live?
Well, the only parent we know about is Sora's mom, because in a cutscene in Kingdom Hearts 1, right before the sky goes dark and that's when Sora gets to Destiny Islands and discovers the Heartless, um Sora just like straight up gets out of the house when Sora's mom is making dinner. And we hear Sora's mom say, "Sora, dinner's ready. Sora?" So, the
And that's
parents,
it.
that's it. That is any mention of the parents we get in this entire series. So clearly they're there, just not paying attention. Anyway, um, so as Sora gets to the Destiny Islands, as it's being overrun by Heartless, he uses his stick sword to try to fight them. He can't. That's when a voice that we do not hear, but we later learn is Mickey Mouse speaking telepathically to Sora, bestows upon him, or finds a way to unlock within him, rather, the power of the Keyblade, which is the only weapon that can slay the Heartless. And this is when Sora is told that he's the chosen one, meant to be the guiding light between worlds and reconnect all the worlds and rid the worlds of all the darkness that the Heartless represent. So, as Sora is fighting the Heartless off of Destiny Islands, he goes to search for Kyrie in their secret place. He runs into a guy in a like burlap sack colored robe who spits some nonsense about to know nothing is to understand nothing. That sort of cryptic stuff. Sora even comments on the cryptic nature of it. Kyrie finds her way in there, is swept up in whatever darkness spell this burlap sack guy is casting right now. Kyrie's heart, supposedly taken from her body, finds its way into Sora's heart for refuge, for safety. So Kyrie is basically unconscious, heartless husk right now, and was kidnapped to feed the villains' plans. The villains in question, the original Disney villains. Captain Hook, Maleficent, uh, Oogie Boogie. Think that era of Disney villains. After that whole thing happens, Sora leaves his secret place, sees Riku staring out at the ocean because there is a dark portal swirling above the Destiny Islands. And Riku's just like, this is our chance to explore other worlds. We need to go, Sora. So they get yeeted off the Destiny Islands. For as far as we can tell, Riku is in parts unknown. Sora lands in Traverse Town, which in universe is basically a spawn point for souls and hearts and people whose worlds have been taken by the darkness, which is why we find Final Fantasy characters there, Huey, Dewey, Louie, and also Pinocchio, among others later in the series. After, yes,
Is the heart in Kingdom Hearts, the heart, when referenced in this game universe, is it a stand in for a soul or is that different?
the way I like, it's never been directly touched on to my knowledge. Like I said, this is a deep dive with as much grace as Tetsuya Nomura is allowed.
Hmm.
Um, the way I interpret it, it's a bit of a soul stand in. Like the essence of a person, the essence of a world, the thing that keeps it going. Not the literal beating heart that pumps blood and oxygen.
No, 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 of
Not that kind of
course.
thing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So as Sora wakes up in Traverse Town, who else but Pluto, Mickey's dog, tries to link him up with Donald and Goofy, whom, for context, was sent to Traverse Town by King Mickey to try and find the key. The key, of course, being Sora. After Sora fumbles around Traverse Town, battles some Heartless, he ends up in a very comedic way meeting up with Donald and Goofy. And that is when the two of them start to travel to different worlds, sealing the keyholes of these worlds, which are the ways that the Heartless are getting into the worlds, to prevent further darkness from leaking into said world, thus trying to preserve the hearts of each of these worlds. Places like Deep Jungle from Tarzan, the Caribbean from Pirates of the Caribbean, Alice in Wonderland, later in the franchise, Beauty and the Beast. The 100 Acre Wood is like some magical tome that they have to protect. That little bit of plot will be emphasized later. But that's basically what they're doing on their
Hmm.
quest, jumping between Disney worlds so Sora can find Riku and Kairi, make sure they're okay, and so that Donald and Goofy can report back to King Mickey now that they've found the key, being Sora.
Hmm.
Except minor plot twist. That is, well, first they find Kairi and see her like slight backstep actually. Before what I'm about to reveal, Sora and Riku run into each other at Traverse Town again. Strangely enough, Riku can summon Sora's Keyblade when Sora was told that he's the chosen one. So that's a little oddity that they choose to just play as a little bit of a friendship vibe there. And as Sora's trying to convince Donald to let Riku join them, Donald's like, "No, he can't come. But he's our friend. I don't care." And by that point, Riku's gone.
Hmm.
Because Riku had it planted in his head by Maleficent that Sora was replacing him and Kairi with Donald and Goofy in terms of friends.
Mm.
Riku believes it, has his heart swayed to darkness, which is why the Keyblade went to Sora instead of Riku, like it was originally intended. Because Riku's
So
able to.
you're
Yes?
telling me that the blade was supposed to be Riku's, not Sora's.
Correct.
Oh.
But because of the darkness in the heart and how the Keyblade can only manifest to those who are in control of the darkness, for lack of a better phrase, it went to Sora instead because of some gobbledygook that I'll get into in a little bit.
Okay.
Really, a lot of this stuff is explained by the game Birth by Sleep, which technically takes place a decade before Kingdom Hearts 1, but was released several consoles later. And again, release date order. Um, Through the events of Kingdom Hearts 1, we see Riku start to, by the end of that game, skipping over some stuff for the sake of time,
Sure.
um, we see Sora, Riku, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy seal, quote, the door to Kingdom Hearts, which that's a complicated thing in and of itself. But they seal the door to Kingdom Hearts, thus, to what they believe, sealing off the darkness from all the Disney worlds and completing their mission. Only for Sora, Donald, and Goofy to be teleported to what looks like the Windows XP like field and sky background, while Riku and Mickey are still in the realm of darkness somewhere because they close the door from the other side, realm of light, realm of darkness. And both both sets of characters end up at this place called Castle Oblivion, which is where Chain of Memories takes place. As Sora, Donald, and Goofy go through Castle Oblivion, they learn that someone is manipulating their memories to, in effect, reset their skills, abilities, and knowledge of what's going on back to level 1. So they're revisiting all the same places from Kingdom Hearts 1, except for Tarzan because of licensing reasons, to get to the end of it because they were told they would find Riku, Mickey, and Kairi at the end. Spoiler alert, they did not. Um, they learn who was manipulating their memories and basically make an agreement with this person, a witch named Naminé, who is connected to Kairi, which we'll get to in a second, that Naminé can restore Sora's memories to how they were, but he needs to be asleep for a year, basically to stasis pod. Same thing with Donald and Goofy. As that whole plot line is happening, Riku and Mickey somehow, in a way that is, I think, still unexplained, escape from the realm of darkness and also go through Castle Oblivion in reverse order to get to the bottom of whatever this group of people clad in black coats called Organization 13 is up to. By the time Riku gets through his version of events, he learns what needs to happen for Sora to finish recovering his memories because they're almost there. They're just missing a few bits and bobs, right? So these bits and bobs are recovering them are what Riku and Mickey are off to claim next. This is where the entirety of Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2 and the prologue of Kingdom Hearts 2 come in. Because we're introduced to a character named Roxas.
Mm-hmm.
We see Roxas because one moment in Kingdom Hearts 1, to save Kairi and restore her heart, Sora uses Riku's Keyblade of Darkness, puts it up to his chest, and liberates both his and Kairi's hearts. Kairi's heart goes back to her. Sora becomes a Heartless for a few minutes, but they restore him and it's fine. During that few minutes where Sora's a Heartless, a being called a Nobody is formed. Roxas is Sora's Nobody, but doesn't look like Sora, and is voiced by a totally different guy.
I mean, he kind of looks like him.
Same like anime face chisel, but the hairstyle, the eye
Yeah, the
color, I think.
hairstyle, the eye
Hairstyle,
color's the
like,
same.
I'll have to
I
double
think.
check that. I'll have
I
to double
think.
check that. But like,
I'll double check it right meow. You keep
okay,
on going with your deep dive.
okay, please correct me on the spot here. But yeah, Roxas is Sora's Nobody, gets inducted into Organization 13, whose mission it is, now that they have a Keyblade wielder among them, due to Roxas getting that ability by being Sora's Nobody, to slay the Heartless, get the captured hearts, and rebuild another Kingdom Hearts, which is a heart-shaped moon and not a door, so that the nobodies can get hearts again and become real people. That's like full people again. Somebodies, to borrow that logic from the game itself.
Same colored
That's
eyes, by the way.
They are the same colored. Okay.
Yes.
So face shape, same colored eyes. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
This is a part of the whole 358 days thing that still kind of befuddles me, even after the context of Kingdom Hearts 3. But somehow in the mix, a 14th member of Organization 13 named Shion is added to the mix. Based on some like replica project with weaker nobody bodies trying to add hearts to them. That's what I understand it to be. But Shion has the remnants of Sora's memories that relate most to Kairi, which is why she has a Kairi similar appearance and disposition.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of 358 Days Over 2, the parts of Sora's memories that relate to Kairi return back to Sora because Roxas had to fight Shion and win in combat. Because Shion learned that she was a puppet to get to Sora and the Keyblade and more Heartless. And tried to tell Roxas that that's essentially what he was in the eyes of the organization.
Mm-hmm.
But because the two of them formed a friendship with fiery redhead voiced by Raiden from Metal Gear, Axel, Quentin Flynn is the voice actor. Roxas decided that he's going to investigate the organization's actions and see what this whole returning memories to Sora thing is about at the end of that game. He runs into Riku, post Chain of Memories Riku, who, through a blindfold and an organization coat, is trying to hold back the darkness that once corrupted him. Working with a character named Ansem, not to be confused with the Ansem that Sora defeats in Kingdom Hearts 1, but a different Ansem, they capture Roxas and basically put him in a sleep pod where he lives in a digital version of Twilight Town, an area they've been to in 358 Days Over 2. This is the specific part with the intro to Kingdom Hearts 2.
Hmm.
Roxas lives out his days, but then starts hearing voices and is somehow able to control time, basically. Time would freeze around him, and he screams out the name of his friends, Hainer, Pence, and Olette, to break the grip of the frozen time, just so he can continue to live his life. It's around this time he meets Naminé. Naminé is the witch from Chain of Memories who was manipulating Sora's memories, and is another piece of Sora's affection with Kairi, because Naminé is Kairi's nobody.
Mm.
By the end of the 7th day of the prologue in Kingdom Hearts 2, Roxas decides that it's time to rejoin with Sora. His summer vacation is over, and Sora, Donald, and Goofy finally wake up from the sleep pods that they were in at the end of Chain of Memories.
Mm-hmm.
After starting to recover his abilities a little bit and running into King Mickey, making sure that, oh, okay, thank God everybody's at least still alive, Sora, Donald, and Goofy are sent to Yen Sid, Mickey's tutor, wizard from Fantasia, and Disney spelled backwards. They learn from Yen Sid that the Heartless found new ways into the worlds. So there's another door to Kingdom Hearts that's open somewhere,
The
and
back
that
door.
the back door indeed. Um, and that the nobodies, which were, the organization 13, the weaker nobodies are also causing problems in the worlds.
Mm-hmm.
So Sora, Donald, and Goofy are tasked with going to each of the Disney worlds, closing the keyholes, and trying to find the mystery of the nobodies, eventually pitting them against Organization 13. After getting through all the worlds, fighting through Organization 13's ranks, they get to this place called the World That Never Was, which is the organization's home base, their
Mm-hmm.
stronghold, really.
Mm-hmm.
And they battle all of the organization members. Yes,
Didn't didn't Sora battle Organization 13 in Chain of Memories?
he did. He basically has to fight them again because, as I mentioned in that section, Sora's memories were wiped because of the sleep pod that he had to go in, and his
Mm-hmm.
abilities were effectively reset to level 1.
Right.
So in Kingdom Hearts 2, Sora has no idea who any of these guys are, even though he just fought them in Castle Oblivion. And he has to fight them all again because by going into the sleep pod and Naminé not doing what the organization wanted in Chain of Memories,
Mm-hmm.
it derailed their plans leading into the plot of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay. Go on.
at the
Please.
world no, at the world that never was, Sora ends up finding a way to reunite with Roxas officially. And Naminé does the same with Kairi. So those beings they basically became their whole selves again.
Okay.
They defeat Xemnas, the leader of the organization at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, after everything is restored, Sora, Riku, and Kairi unite with each other. Mickey, Donald, and Goofy reunite with each other. They all just hang out and have a good time on Destiny Islands for a little bit in the final cutscene. And then we see that Mickey sends a message in a bottle to summon Sora and Riku somewhere. That is the end of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay.
Now, for a lot of this stuff to start making sense, we have to jump 10 years into the past for that game Birth by Sleep I mentioned earlier, where we follow these 3 other Keyblade wielders, so much for Sora being the chosen one,
I know, right?
named Terra, Ventus, and Aqua. Terra and Aqua are taking the Mark of Mastery exam to officially become Keyblade Masters. Ventus, who looks an awful lot like Roxas to those with keen
Yes.
eyes, um, is there basically as a Keyblade trainee who had his memories wiped. Like he was kind of amnesiac when we meet. Ventus was when we
You're
meet him.
right. You're right. Yes, I do remember this fact.
He was there as a supportive friend, wanting to be a Keyblade master,
Mhm.
training with Terra and Aqua under Master Yensid, or not Yensid, Master Ericus. Lots of masters in this game, and Sora
So
is not
many.
one of them. Um, but after the Mark of Mastery exam and kind of goes AWOL due to Ericus's old friend Xehanort interfering and using dark magic to try to coerce the darkness out of the Keyblade wielders, it is deemed that only Aqua is a Keyblade master and that Terra is not because Terra used the power of darkness for like 5 seconds and both of the masters caught on. It was from here that Xehanort manipulated Terra into trying to prove himself while also feeding his own fiendish desires. Ventus went after Terra to find out what's going on because Terra just decided not to communicate with his friend. So Ericus sent Aqua after both of them to try to get them back to their home world. Which for some, like, again, I'm just divulging all these, like, all this lore, and I forget the land of departure. That's it. Their home world was the land of departure. Aqua was sent by Ericus to get Ventus, and Aqua was sent to get Ventus and Terra back to the land of departure. Whew, this deep dive is twisting my own brain here. Um, let's see. They each go through various Disney worlds, learning lessons about themselves. Terra's
Mhm.
path has him interact with a lot of the villains. He ends up being the one who puts Aurora to sleep by stealing her heart for Maleficent.
Mm.
And he ends up siding with Captain Hook to fend off Peter Pan from Skull Rock. Ventus just wants to meet back up with his friends and understand what's going on.
Mhm.
And Aqua just wants to see, like, she wants to see Ventus get back safe and confront Terra about the whole darkness thing. As the game goes on, Terra learns that Terra is being manipulated by Master Xehanort to do all the evil things,
Sure.
which includes which includes a moment where Ventus makes it back to the land of departure. Ericus wants Ventus to just stay there and train. Ventus ain't having it. But because Ventus had his memories wiped and Xehanort was bringing all of those back and re-traumatizing the poor kid, as Ericus was about to unleash some kind of attack on Ventus, Terra steps in, intercepts the attack, and fights Ericus. The two basically get to a standoff. Then Xehanort, Ericus's friend, mind you, finishes Ericus off, killing
Oof.
him. And then in that moment, Xehanort reveals to Terra that Terra was basically doing his dark bidding and everything is going according to plan to meet him at the Keyblade Graveyard. Everybody at this point was summoned to the Keyblade Graveyard. Um, they all arrive. Aqua confronts Terra about the darkness thing again. He says, "Yes, I did some bad stuff, but I'm out of it now. I'm here to make things right." Ventus is just what Xehanort was concealing from Ventus is that in order to open the door to Kingdom Hearts, the heart-shaped moon that in Kingdom Hearts 2 they were trying to recreate, they
Mhm.
need a weapon called the Keyblade. Not spelled Key, spelled with the Greek letter key, which for all intents and purposes looks like an X.
Yes.
So some people call it the X Blade. Xehanort needs the X Blade in order to open the door to the heart-shaped moon Kingdom Hearts, which
Why
is
is it not
normally
called the Zayblade?
maybe it's too close to Beyblade. I don't know.
Okay.
Um, um, so in order to get the Zayblade, Xehanort was training Ventus as his pupil, but then extracted the darkness from Ventus's heart to create Vanitas. Basically, evil Ventus who looks like Sora, who has
Mm.
Sora's face.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yup. Yup. And it's this connection right here because Ventus, like the goodness in Ventus's heart, sought out a place to heal and recover while his heart was so fractured. Who did he go to but a baby Sora on Destiny Islands? That's why Sora's nobody looks like Ventus and why
Oh.
Vanitas looks like Sora when all is unmasked and unhooded.
Right. Okay.
And in a similar way, that is how Riku was initially chosen to be a Keyblade wielder. Terra ended up on the Destiny Islands with meeting a young Sora and Riku. Sora had run off to not hear the conversation, but Terra bequeathed his Keyblade to Riku to basically pass it on through the lineage. Something we learned could be possible in this game.
Hmm.
And because Riku misused the privilege by, wanting to play with the darkness, his Keyblade chose Sora. Sora proved that he earned it on his own and through his connection to Ventus. So that's why both of them were able to use the Keyblade eventually.
Okay.
At the end of Birth by Sleep, each of our three heroes gets into a bit of a big boss fight. Terra is fighting both Vanitas and Master Xehanort, the
Hmm.
old bald guy who offed Ericus.
Sure. Not at the same
And
time though, right?
yes, it is a 2-on-1.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
Terra ends up knocking Vanitas away at some point, which is
Hmm.
how he's able to link up with how he's able to get back to Ventus, and the two are able to merge. And when the two merge, this Vanitas, this dark Ventus, is fighting Aqua. But we also see Ventus and Vanitas fighting within the confines of Ventus's heart.
Mm.
Through the inside the heart fight, Ventus wins, pushing Vanitas out, but putting him into a similar coma that Kairi was in Kingdom Hearts 1. Ventus was left with Master Yen Sid at the behest of Mickey, who had come in and helped Aqua with her boss fight against one of Xehanort's minions and the fused Vanitas Ventus combo. And ends up, let's see, it was after that tower incident where Aqua goes to look for Terra and to try to get him back to the side of light.
Hmm.
Terra, at this point, because of his 2-on-1 boss fight, wins the battle but loses the war, so to speak. Because Xehanort was able to cast his heart into Terra's body, thus becoming the primary, inhabitant. It is Xehanort's soul that controls Terra's body.
Mm.
But Terra's lingering will inhabited his Keyblade armor, which allowed basically Terra's will to make things right to stay alive and well, which also gave us one of the hardest boss fights in Kingdom Hearts history with the lingering will boss fight in KH2. My God, that thing is difficult. It is Terra from the past. I'm not even kidding. So the lingering will Keyblade armor is basically left to be destroyed with the Keyblade graveyard by the end of, or it looks like it's getting destroyed, but it isn't actually because it comes back in Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't understand that part. But this Terra powered by Xehanort, or Terra Xehanort, is who Aqua finds.
Terranort, if you will.
Terranort, indeed. Um, Terranort is who Aqua finds in Radiant Garden, the home of the Final Fantasy characters in this universe. And the two get into a fight. Um, in order to try to save Terra and give Terra a chance at continuing to live at the end of this fight, where a portal to the realm of darkness opens and a weakened Terranort falls into it, Aqua jumps into the portal and uses her Keyblade and armor to send Terra Xehanort back out of it. So Terra Xehanort is unconscious or is amnesiac and lands in Radiant Garden unconscious. Aqua is in the realm of darkness, and Ventus is in another coma. Now we get to Dream Drop Distance,
Oh my
where
god.
Sora. Yeah, it's been an hour and 10 minutes. Like, we're barely into like the surface level plot synopsis, but all of this to say, it is a
No, 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 no,
delightfully
no, no, no. We got to keep going. I'm fucking vested in this now. You got to
okay.
finish this.
Okay, finish it. We shall. Um, Dream Drop Distance is what this connects to Kingdom Hearts 2. This was the letter that Mickey sent to Sora and Riku. Go to Yensid's tower, take the Mark of Mastery exam, which seems to be arbitrary because the Birth by Sleep uh, Mark of Mastery exam it was just hitting balls of light to see if you could, not be tainted by the darkness. The the Mark of Mastery exam that Sora and Riku have to go on, apparently worlds can fall asleep. Where if the heart of the world is, or if the darkness is cut off from the world, but the heart itself still hasn't fully recovered yet, they are asleep in a sort of limbo. So Sora and Riku had to go to these sleeping worlds, which include things like Pinocchio and Traverse Town, things they're familiar with already,
Hmm.
to wake up these sleeping worlds, to learn what is called the power of waking, which is,
Okay.
in effect, it's the tool that would allow them to wake Ventus up and purge hearts from darkness or those that are taken over by darkness. In one of these sleeping worlds, Sora gets accosted by a newly remade Organization 13. And this is where we learn the whole time travel rigmarole. I mentioned this briefly at the very beginning with a guy traveling through time where he could only be where a version of himself was and all that.
Hmm.
The burlap sack man that I mentioned in the Kingdom Hearts 1 part of this is a
Yes.
version of Xehanort, because old man Xehanort from Birth by Sleep, he was the one pulling the strings this entire time.
Okay.
The Ansem Seeker of Darkness was Xehanort's Heartless, and the Ansem we fought at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, that final boss, was Xehanort's Nobody.
Okay.
Apparently, by this series logic, when the Heartless and Nobody of the same person are both defeated, the original person reforms.
Okay.
So Xehanort, having been reformed and learning how to time travel, sent fragments of his heart to various eras in time, where various people who had essentially parts of him or were made up of parts of him had existed. So he could ensure that things had gone the way I attempted to describe, completely omitting recoded by accident just now.
Wait,
Um,
what's recoded?
Recoded, it takes place after Kingdom Hearts 2. It's the game that prompts Mickey to write the letter to Sora and Riku to take the Mark of Mastery exam. Because Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and Jiminy Cricket are all at Disney Castle, home world for the Mickey Mouse gang, trying to interpret Jiminy's journal for, information on what to do next based off of Sora's adventures. They use a
Hmm.
fancy computer built by Chip and Dale, yes, those two, to interpret the data. Somehow, a physical book is impeded by technological data, and all of the pages are empty, despite having
Okay.
two adventures worth of data to go on. So they reconstructed Data Sora to go through the worlds listed in the book from both Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 and Chain of Memories to restore the data.
So wait, they make an AI Sora?
Yes,
Oh my god.
they make an AI Sora and an AI Keyblade to boot. Um, with all the same powers of the real Keyblade. And then the AI Sora somehow manifests its own heart and gets a real Keyblade temporarily, which I still don't understand that part. Just like the connection to the data Donald and Goofy, I guess, or real Donald and Goofy somehow get transported into the book. That part's also a little fuzzy. But the AI Sora gets a sentient heart, gets a real Keyblade. Pete makes a joke about that breaking the law somehow. Um, and the entire premise of this adventure eventually gets revealed to Mickey relearning the fates of Ventus Terra and Aqua and basically prompting him to get Sora and Riku to take the Mark of Mastery exam, to learn the power of waking, to wake these three up.
Okay.
Back to Dream Drop Distance now, where this test is taking place. I'm trying to remember what, like, because at this point in the series, and it was probably in Kingdom Hearts 2, and again, deep dive made me miss a bit. But in order to form the Zayblade, you need 7 pieces of light and 13 pieces of darkness to clash, whether it be
Okay.
in some sort of fight or fragments of heart or what have you. In Dream Drop Distance, Xehanort, through his time traveling shenanigans, manufactured a new Organization 13 that was basically all past instances of Xehanort, or characters that Xehanort could exude his control over. The 7 Guardians of Light, through which was partially revealed through Coded, are supposed to be Sora, Riku, Kairi,
Mm-hmm.
Mickey, Terra Ventus, and Aqua.
That's what I figured. Just
Mm-hmm.
judging by everything that you've said so far, those would be the 7.
Yes, those would be the 7.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So, where I left off with the Dream Drop Distance thing, Sora was sort of trapped in the dream world within his own dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And Riku, after, waking up the sleeping world that never was, I think that's what happened. In the world that never was, Riku found Sora in this darkness bubble, basically, because
Okay.
he had been captured and internal conflict, and that's where he's fighting some of the new Organization 13 that's all Xehanorts.
Mm-hmm.
Sora is in a similar coma.
Oops, all Xehanort.
Pretty much. It's pretty much oops all Xehanorts at this point. Young Xehanort, Ansem Xehanort, Zemnis Xehanort, Old Wrinkly Xehanort, Burlap Sack Xehanort.
Oh my
Um,
god.
Larxene ends up getting Xehanorted, so Lady Xehanort, Pistol Whip Xehanort, Trading Card Enthusiast Xehanort. It's all Xehanort. It's all Xehanort. I'm not even kidding. Um, so after using his Dream Eater friends to get to the world that never was and find Sora in the 13th seat of the organization's massive white chair throne room,
Hold up.
Riku
How
fi-
the fuck do they even get up on those chairs?
That's a very good question. Everybody in that series has massive abilities to jump and borderline fly. I just assume that either they do that to get up there, or all the chairs have some level of elevator that go down to the same height on the floor. You sit down, and then depending on what rung of the organization you're in, they stop at certain heights. I don't know. That part's never explained. But so Riku gets to the room where the organization is. Mickey Mouse comes in with a high-level stop spell, which young Xehanort breaks. Young Xehanort and Riku fight. Riku's about to lose, and Sora's about to get Norted. Made the last Organization 13 Xehanort.
Mm-hmm.
when Axel comes in, thwarts the plans, gets Sora, and they're all basically kicked out of this world. They leave this world, they're kicked out of it. I forget what the cutscene shows. But that's when Xehanort and all of his time traveling other Xehanorts basically go back to their eras in time and drop the bombshell that 7 lights, 13 darknesses, they're gonna clash. It's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
And they all end up back at Yen Sid's tower. Riku has to dive into Sora's sleeping heart, which is protected by a dark and shadowy version of Ventus's Keyblade armor to make
Mm.
sure that his heart does not get hurt anymore. Riku wakes it up, finds Sora back to normal, and is the only one of the two named a Keyblade Master because Sora was almost taken by the darkness in the Mark of Mastery exam. Shortly after, after this revelation, Sora goes off on his own adventure to thank the Dream Eaters, to try and rediscover his power, to take time away. Riku stays behind and talks to Yen Sid about Mickey's time in the realm of darkness. Remember Aqua? Trapped in the realm
Mm-hmm.
of darkness?
Yep.
Mickey finds a way into the realm of darkness, the exact way is never shown, and tries to get Aqua back from the realm of darkness to be one of their guardians of light. That entire mini adventure in the realm of darkness is basically a way to justify how Mickey lost his shirt between Birth by Sleep and Kingdom Hearts 1, why Riku was in the realm of darkness and they're on the other side to close the door and not Aqua, and why Aqua, despite everything, is still in the realm of darkness when the gang has to save her in Kingdom Hearts 3, which we are finally at in terms of the modern timeline.
Before you move on,
Yes.
why was Riku in the form of Ansem?
Riku took the form of Ansem because that was the darkness in his heart and Xehanort's influence, in essence, taking over him. Like, to jump back to Kingdom Hearts 1, when Riku's heart was corrupted by darkness, that was the villains and Xehanort's doing. When Sora fought Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, that was just the Xehanort's Heartless.
Mm-hmm.
They had, while I can't say they fully separated from Riku, when Riku took on Ansem's form while using the power of darkness, those are lingering effects of Xehanort's grip on his heart.
Mm.
That's all
Okay.
I really know about that.
And he used a blindfold so that he wouldn't see himself as that?
Mm-hmm. A
Okay.
blindfold to not see himself as that, and the black trench coats, the organization coats, turns out those repel darkness and allow you to travel into the realm of darkness without being so easily corrupted.
Oh, and that's why Mickey always is wearing that in this.
That's
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why Mickey had one with giant ears. Anyway,
Mm, mm, mm.
um, when we get to Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora's back from his self rediscovery adventure to an empty tower, except for Donald, Goofy, and Yen Sid. Which this is when Yen Sid reminds him, hey, you were a victim of the darkness potentially. All of your abilities are basically forgotten. Yet another level 1 reset. So go find someone. There should be someone you found on your adventures who can help you reclaim your lost strength, which is Hercules. Because Sora had been to Hercules' world in all of the other games
Mhm.
that Sora's playable in. So the two effectively train, restore Sora's abilities in what the game jokingly calls Kingdom Hearts 2.9, and then it is established that it is their job to get the 7 Seekers of Light back together. Kairi, at this point, has been sent to train her Keyblade wielding skills because she was able to wield one for a brief second in Kingdom Hearts 2
Mhm.
after Ansem Riku allowed her to like hold his for some split second of a reason. That was a sort of a bequeathing, I guess, the game decided to go with.
Sure.
Um, and at the end of Dream Drop Distance, because Axel had saved Sora's unconscious body, he announces that he was training to be a Keyblade wielder and just casually flicks one out saying, like, I don't understand what's going on. It's like in the flick of the wrist or something, Keyblade manifests. Oh, well, that's good. Um, so Axel and Kyrie train. Axel regains memories over Shion and Roxas.
Mhm.
Um, and by the time Kingdom Hearts 3's events end, I'm glossing over some things. They're able to recover Aqua from the realm of darkness,
Mhm.
who is in turn able to help Sora wake up Ventus's sleeping heart.
Okay.
So, the Guardians of Light going into the Keyblade War at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, the clash of 7 and 13, end up being Axel, Sora, Riku, Kairi, Mickey, Ventus, and Aqua. During the Keyblade War, and this feeds kind of also into the Remind DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3,
Mhm.
they are able to recover and use as other Light Guardians Terra, Roxas, and Shion.
Oh.
So all of their little trios are formed,
Aw.
basically. Yeah, like cushy, happy ending.
Yeah.
Um, at one point, they're all getting ready to fight the villains. Sora and everybody loses, like canonically lose the fight. But you play as Sora in these. I don't even know if they're sleeping or in the darkness at this point. You revisit the worlds and rescue the hearts of the Guardians, the other Guardians of Light, through this like Reaper scythe looking Heartless. And Kyrie's heart is the thing that brings Sora out of this. They travel back in time to just before they lost the fight,
Mhm.
win the fight that they had previously lost, and go into this boss gauntlet against the 13 plus Seekers of Darkness. And I say 13 plus because there are some other cameos in there that we don't expect, like the darkness converted Riku from Kingdom Hearts 1. He's one of the Xehanorts now. We have
Mhm.
Larxene, we've got the gunslinger, we have the trading card enthusiast, we have Axel's best friend, we have Bald Xehanort, we have Zemnis, we have Ansem Seeker of Darkness, we have Young Xehanort. It's a lot of Xehanorts. It just Xehanort. It already meant very little, but now it's just sounds like it belongs in a tongue twister. So, by virtue of the clashes, Bald Master Xehanort gets 12 of the 13 pieces he needs to form the Xeyblade, open the Kingdom Hearts moon, and, to start reshaping the world the way he wants it. Reshaping the
Mhm.
universe, rather. The last clash was him straight up crystallizing and disappearing Kyrie, throwing Sora into a rage because at this point, Kyrie's just gone. As far as we know, at this point, Kyrie's just gone. Um, through their efforts, they were able to follow Xehanort through. And again, this is one thing I still don't understand because they lean on really nichely understood dream drop distance portal mechanics.
Mm.
Because through the moon, this heart shaped moon, Xehanort is able to get to this long forgotten world called Scala ad Kylum, which refers to the mobile games and stuff.
Mhm.
Through a portal straight out of dream drop distance, like a dream portal, Sora, Donald, and Goofy are able to give chase to this Xehanort into Scala ad Kylum,
Okay.
where where Sora fights the other Xehanorts, all of the Xehanorts. including Master Xehanort at the end. They were he was somehow able to restore Kyrie's heart through the activities at Scala ad Kylum
Mm-hmm.
and finish off Master Xehanort, thus reuniting him with his friend Ericus, who, need I remind you, he
He
offed.
killed.
Yeah. Um, and pretty much basically set everything back to normal, with the exception that Sora is going on another journey. Like, and here's the thing, this is part of where it gets hazy for me, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Sora says at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 that he needs to go find Kyrie's heart. But in the very end of the game, we see everybody, all of the trios, including the Disney trio, so like 12 characters,
Mm-hmm.
hanging out on Destiny Islands, having a grand old time. Sora and Kyrie sitting on some palm trees in a very iconic scene. Sora just fades away, like in the same particle effect as a Thanos snap, which shows that Sora's heart is gone somewhere, right? Then you play the Remind DLC, which clarifies and expands on the events of the Keyblade War.
Okay.
Turns out Sora is just a time traveling little son of a gun and corrects all sorts of mistakes to get the gang back together, including being able to save Kyrie's heart by putting fragments of it back together in Scala ad Kylum
Mm-hmm.
while pursuing the Xehanort thing. It's through these actions, we see literally all of the other Guardians of Light. Ventus, Roxas, Axel, Shion, Aquaterra, Riku, Mickey, everybody else
Mm-hmm.
fighting off the same Norts. And it was through their efforts Sora was able to guide himself and Kairi back to the back to the realm of the living, for a lack of a better phrase, instead of
Okay.
like being in this dream portal.
Mm-hmm.
And then because Sora was able to recover Kyrie's heart and take down the final incarnation of Master Xehanort, they seal the heart-shaped moon. Sora and Kyrie go on a bunch of little adventures, basically watching all of the trios start living their lives again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Sora disappears in that same cutscene. It is later revealed that Kyrie believes that her heart contains fragments of Sora and a hint to find him. So she is put into a coma while Ansem the Wise and former organization members turned good who happen to be scientists, uh, Vexen, I think, ends up being one of them,
Mm-hmm.
search her heart for said clues. Riku goes to Radiant Garden, enlisting the help of the Final Fantasy crew to see if they can find hints of Sora's heart through data on Sora and the Organization 13, justifying a bunch of really hard boss fights. Then, through that plot line, we get to the plot of Melody of Memory, the most recent game released in the franchise, which is a rhythm game that's recounting the entire story from Kyrie's perspective up through the events of Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Before
And
before we go further in this, there's been something on my mind. Who the fuck is Diz?
Diz is actually Ansem the Wise who concealed his identity because Ansem Seeker of Darkness used Ansem's name because Ansem was a good scientist on Radiant Garden back in the era of Birth by Sleep. He's the
Mm-hmm.
one who found Terra Xehanort. Terra Xehanort became Ansem's apprentice, did some less than ethical experiments, thus leading to manufacturing Heartless and creating the Nobodies. Ansem tried to stop him. Terra Xehanort basically said no. And Ansem the wise had to conceal himself as to not be trackable, in a sense, by Terra Xehanort while still being able to undo the damage that Terra Xehanort is doing. Because
Okay.
Diz takes off his outfit and reveals that fact to King Mickey during the World That Never Was segment of Kingdom Hearts 2,
Mm,
and ultimately destroys the machine that is siphoning hearts into Kingdom Hearts 2's heart-shaped moon.
gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Go on.
Diz
Continue.
Diz is good Ansem, basically.
Okay.
Before we learn who good Ansem is in person, aside from Mickey's recount.
Mm.
Okay. So I think we're at the last little bit here before we, go into mobile game territory, which I'm not sure I want to touch because it's already been an hour and a half. Um, so through the events of Melody of Memory, we learn that Sora's heart has been sent to another place. This place is referred to as the end of the world, which is basically blue skyscape that you could somehow walk in.
Okay.
Because while Sora was there recollecting pieces of his heart in the Remind DLC, he ran into a character from the mobile games, unfortunately, who, like, the two basically hit it off. And he was asking her, like, basically, he made a promise to her to try to help her get back, in essence. And he was asking her how he could get back. And a character named Chirithy related to the mobile games appears there and acts as Sora's guide, who ends up being Roxas's Chirithy. Again, mobile games.
Wait,
Um,
what?
or Ventus's Chirithy, excuse me.
What's a
Because
Chirithy?
a Chirithy is a little like a cat-shaped heartless with permanently closed eyes and a little bell around its neck.
Oh, okay. I was
Oh,
like, what are you
not a
talking
heartless,
about?
a dream eater. Sorry, dream eater. Chirithy is a dream eater because so many enemies. Um, but yeah, um, Sora had made a promise to help this character who takes the shape of a star in the game,
Okay.
while he is there piecing together his own heart to try to get back and save Kairi. Via Kairi's clues from Melody of Memory, the analysis that Riku and the Final Fantasy characters were able to do in Remind, and the fairy godmother from Cinderella and her natural knowledge on magic, they were fairy godmother was able to get Riku and Kairi to the end of the world and find this star-shaped character and basically ask them, "Hey, do you know Sora?" "Yeah, I recognize that name. Is he in trouble? I promise to help." So, through some power of waking dream drop distance portal means, Riku uses this star-shaped character to go to another world, which presumably, if you've seen any of the Kingdom Hearts 4 video footage, is this borderline photorealistic version of Tokyo, where we have seen Sora land in the trailers. Um, Kairi is sent back to Yen Sid's tower. And when Mickey finds out that Riku went to this other world on his own, he has a freaking conniption being like, "I have to go help. I have to go help." And Yen Sid's like, "No, you don't, Mickey. You've got a job to do here. You need to," which that I don't remember what that job was. The cutscene from Melody of Memory is like, I only played through and beat it the once.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Basically what it seems like is that the Birth by Sleep trio, the 358 Days Over 2 trio, Kyrie and Mickey, Donald, and Goofy as a trio, all have to get more information buried from the ancient past to figure out how to access this new world that Riku went to and that Sora is presumably trapped in. And as far as the modern timeline goes, that's it. That's where we are.
Everyone's trying to find Sora in this new world.
Yes, everyone's trying to find Sora because Sora saved everyone else. Basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can
Dive into the
you
heart for real there.
Can you briefly touch on the mobile game,
I'll try to keep it brief.
which was like called Union Crossjack or some weird shit like that?
It's Kingdom Hearts Union Cross Dark Road.
Okay.
The Dark Road part is its own separate thing. It's basically Xehanort's origin story and how
Okay.
he became born as a destined child on Destiny Islands, thus becoming the burlap sack guy. And it's basically because Xehanort lost all of his friends because the darkness corrupted one of his friends and overwhelmed Scala at Kylum, which is an academy for Keyblade wielders.
Okay.
But the Kingdom Hearts Union Cross part involved a Master of Masters and his 6 apprentices. The Master and one of his apprentices both wearing the iconic Organization 13 coats.
Mm,
The Master of Masters had an all seeing eye that he put into his Keyblade to make sure that he saw the events of the future, outlined in a special book called the Book of Prophecies.
okay.
Each of the Master of Masters apprentices was tasked with a specific job to both ensure that the future in the Book of Prophecies came to pass, but also to make sure that his eye got to see it all. There is this one black box which which the apprentice wearing the black coat named Lushu was tasked with keeping with him at all times. This Lushu apprentice was also tasked with keeping the all-seeing eye Keyblade at all times with him and bequeathing the Keyblade and the eye to a bunch of future apprentices down the line through the generations.
Okay.
That Keyblade ended up getting into Xehanort's hands, which is why the
Mm,
Master of Masters now knows it all. And through the power of waking, the other 5 apprentices, who were called the Foretellers, were able to come back to the Realm of Light at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, the DLC. Turns out Lushu is Zigbar, one of the Organization 13 members, as revealed in the Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind DLC.
oh.
And the reason why all that's important is because these foretellers were basically instructed to get, like, through their own jobs and missions. It ended up being get powerful Keyblade wielders, start a Keyblade war, overlight, create the Keyblade graveyard. None of them were told that directly, but that was just what ended up happening, and that was the Master of Masters plan.
So is the Master of Masters a good guy or a bad
We
guy?
we still don't know. We still
Okay.
don't know. We just know that the Master of Masters ended up training young Xehanort before he became the bald, time traveling Keyblade War modern era set offer that he ended up being
What if
through
the Master of
cutscenes.
Masters is really just the time traveling Xehanort, even further traveling back in time?
Knowing the writing of this series, that's probably going to be the answer. That's probably going to be the answer. Like, and I haven't seen any of that discourse online. We just know that he has a very funny personality, and we've never seen his face. But that's probably the answer right there. Lushu is Zigbar slash Brag, and the other foretellers are back. So, or all but one of them. Um, and yeah, that was the first. What I just described was, in very blunt terms, the first half of Union Cross, because the second half involves a lot of events of the first half, but the foretellers are missing. So, 5 special Keyblade wielders from Ava's mission were placed as new foretellers, while everybody was basically in this digital version of the game's original events. One of these selected Keyblade wielders was Ventus.
Huh.
Yep, which is why Ventus is deeply connected to all these games' events, which is why his memories were wiped when Xehanort found him, and why the heck he has a Chirithy at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. So, by the time everybody discovers what's going on with the Book of Prophecies, the digital world, Maleficent figured out a way to time travel and to try to interfere with the shenanigans. The digital world was collapsing, and there were 5 escape pods. Each of these pods took, I want to say, each of the wielders to a different world. That's all I know.
Hmm.
And again, this is the part that kind of confused me because once it got to a digital recreation of the game's events without the foretellers, how can Maleficent travel through both time and into a digital world from the world that is not digital? I still don't understand. It basically it was a way to set up for the now canceled Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, that mobile game I talked about, and to explain why when Ventus woke up, he had no memories, how he was still connected to a Chirithy, and why it was so important for him to go through his plot line in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, which extended into Kingdom Hearts 3.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That
And to think, I probably got some bits wrong. I probably missed some important bits, but that's what I understand of the plot going into
that
Kingdom Hearts
is
4.
that is wild, Grant, that you were able to just go through all of that, yet you still have a walking Pokedex of information in your head. You that is wild to me.
Neurospicy folks and their special interests. Am I right?
I guess so. And here's the thing. I had created a quiz for you on stuff
Oh
based
yeah.
on based on Kingdom Hearts and everything. Like I looked up obscure things and I'm
Did
afraid
I
that
address
like
all the questions?
I think you kind of did. I think you kind of did. But I'm going
Oh,
to
I
give them
love
to
it.
you anyways because I
Okay.
know for sure that you answered how many members were in the real organization 13. I'm pretty
Let's
sure
see.
you answered.
I mean, if you go by 358 days over 2, that was 14. But if you go by Kingdom Hearts 3 standards, we got, let's see, Luxord, Marluxia, Larxene, Cyax, Old Xehanort, Young Xehanort, um Ansem Seeker of Darkness, Zemnis, the Recuplica, Terra Xehanort. Oh god, why am I only at 11? Why am I only at 11?
I mean, you're missing two. You got all
It
the other ones.
it can't be Axel or Shion or any of them.
It I so my information because I have two different lists.
Okay.
I have a list of the organization 13 and then the real organization 13.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Because if I'm going by the data fights in KH3 Remind, we have we've got we have the Recuplica, we have Vanitas, who I forgot. We
Mhm.
have Luxord, the card slinger. We have
Mhm.
Zigbar, the
Yep.
gunslinger. We have Larxene. That's
Mhm.
5. Shion is technically mentioned among those boss fights, which would make
Yep.
her 6.
Mhm.
We have Young Xehanort, Wrinkly Xehanort, Ansem Seeker of Darkness.
Mhm.
Did I say Marluxia?
I believe you did.
Okay, I might just need to restart again because all of these X names are doing
So
a
why
number
don't
on
you
my
go with the
brain.
Xehanort versions first?
Okay, we have Old Man Xehanort, Young Xehanort, Ansem Seeker of Darkness,
Mhm.
and Zemnis.
Okay. You also
Then,
missed Terra Xehanort.
oh, we do have Terra Xehanort. That's the
Hmm.
one I was missing. Whenever I recount this list, I forget about Terra Xehanort. So that's 5. We got
Hmm.
the 5 Xehanorts. Then we have Luxord,
Hmm.
Marluxia,
Yep.
Larxene,
Hmm.
Zigbar,
Yep.
Syx.
Hmm.
We have then it's Vanitas,
Yep.
Recuplica, and Shion.
That's it. You got
Whew.
it.
Okay, I missed one, but
You already answered this question, which is what is the name of Riku Ansem's Keyblade?
wait, Riku Ansom's Keyblade. I don't think I touched on this.
You did. You did. Because I heard you mention it and I was like, well, there goes one of my questions.
Um,
In the first Kingdom Hearts, Riku's Keyblade.
I never said the name of the Keyblade.
Yeah, you
Fuck
did.
me. Well, then why am I forgetting it right now?
Fuck if I know, man.
um,
You said it when Sora unlocked his heart, he took Riku's Keyblade, which was called.
my brain is just empty.
Yeah,
You're
because
gonna
you went through the entirety of the Kingdom Hearts in one spree. It's
um.
the Keyblade of Heart.
Oh my god, I did say that.
You
The
totally
Keyblade of
said
Heart.
that.
The Keyblade of Heart. Gosh dang. Okay, so the Keyblade of Heart. Okay. Hmm.
All right, how about this one? Who is Ansem's original voice actor?
Oh. Are we talking?
Original voice actor.
So
The
it would
one
have
that
to
is
be.
in Kingdom Hearts 1.
That would have to be. I think it's Billy Zane.
You are correct. It is Billy Zane, and he was later replaced by.
Uh, I want to. No, Richard Epcar was
That
Zemnis.
is exactly who it was in Chain of Memories. That's
Oh
moving
shit!
onward. Yeah.
It was both. He was both. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to give you this one, which I think you'll probably get. Uh, Sora is a fan of which well known archetype? Is it A, knights, B, ninjas, C, pirates, or D, robots?
It's pirates.
It is
It's pirates.
pirates.
He
You are
always wanted to be
correct.
a pirate, and he idolized Jack Sparrow.
There you go. See, you know all of these things. I can't believe that I thought that I could come up with a question that would stump you at all. But I think I do have one because it's not Kingdom Hearts lore related. It is
Ooh,
more fan based related.
fan base related. Okay.
But first I'm going to give you this question real quick. How many different keyblades does Sora get in Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix?
Okay. So we just have to count the various worlds. He gets one for Tarzan, Halloween Town, Alice in Wonderland, Winnie the Pooh. Um, God dang, why am I blanking on the worlds in that game?
Again,
Um,
you went through the entirety of the Kingdom Hearts lore. That is why your
um,
mind is blanking. Maybe I should have given you this quiz before you went through it.
Potentially, I had no idea I would mushify my own brain. Let's see. I don't remember if we get one for Traverse Town, but I know we get one for Hollow Bastion. So that would
How about
make
this?
number.
I will give you a multiple choice here to make it a bit
Okay,
easier for you. Is
I
it A
appreciate that. Thank you.
20, B 19, C 18, or D 16?
I want to say. I want to. I am literally eeny, meeny, miny, mowing between 16 and 18 right now. Um, I'm going to go with. I'm gonna go with 18.
That is correct, but also incorrect. Because it's a
So
trick
it's a trick
question.
question.
It is.
Ugh.
It's a trick question because they aren't actually blades, but keychains that alter
Keychains.
the appearance of the original blade.
So I could have said 0 and technically been, or I could have said 1 and technically been right.
Correct. You could have
Good.
said that, but you didn't.
Nope. I treated the chains like the blades themselves because it change appearance, and it's a new weapon. Okay.
Okay. When was Kingdom Hearts released?
Why? Like, I know it's in the year 2002. Why do I want to say like June of 2002?
I don't know, but that's not correct.
Okay, give it to me then.
March 28th, 2002 in
Oh,
Japan.
oh, okay. Well, wouldn't have been able to get the American release date then.
That one was September 17th, 2003.
Ah, well,
All right.
okay.
This one I know for sure you will not get. 100%.
Especially with my brain the way it is.
What do you think is the fastest speed run for 100% completion of Kingdom Hearts?
Fastest time for 100%. It took me like 30, 40 hours just to beat the secret bosses in Final Mix, and I wasn't even trying 100%.
So this is
So,
100% of Jiminy Cricket's journal, all
mhm.
bosses, all synthesis, and Trinity marks, while limited to level 1.
I'm going to say 30 hours.
4 hours and 26 minutes. Oh, and
Huh?
1 second. And 1 second. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, you just had to add the one last second there. Huh? Oh my god, the speedrunning community is insane. I can't
Yeah,
even imagine that.
neither can I.
Oh my god.
Yep. One level 1 run through 100%.
4 hours, 20 something minutes and
26 minutes and 1
26
second.
minutes and 1 second. Good god. Mm. Okay.
So, thank you for joining us on this deep dive
Thank
episode of our podcast. Uh, I am going to be speaking because Grant is completely, his brain is fried, gone. Uh,
So fried that when I tried to reboot it, I almost lost my headphones.
if you have any thoughts about our deep dive into Kingdom Hearts, whether we were correct or wrong, or want to add something to it, please add a comment below. Find us
Chime
on all
in,
of our
please.
Instagrams, our TikToks, and all of that other jazz. You can find us on our Twitch channels, Grant underscore Patrizio and Senor Donut, respectively. Um, yeah, enjoy the rest of your week, your day, your hours, whatever you got to enjoy. Smoke them if you got them. Don't smoke, though. It's a horrible habit. Otherwise, continue being awesome because that's what you are.
Especially if you got through this man ranting about a convoluted series that he adores, probably missing a bunch of stuff along the way. But again, if Tetsuya Nomura can do it, so can I.
And with that, good night, everybody.